I had barely set my promotion folder on the kitchen counter when the doorbell erupted. A shrill blast that cut straight through the quiet. I froze mid-step, one heel still dangling from my hand. 7:12 in the evening on the same day, I accepted a position that paid $248,000 a year, and someone was pounding on my door like they meant to break it. The second hit rattled the frame. Avery, a voice shouted, "Damon, open up! We know you are in there." My stomach dropped. I slipped on my heel and crossed to the door, keeping myself behind the chain before cracking it an inch. 3 faces filled the gap, the same 3 I had worked so hard to outrun. Monique leaned in first, her perfume thick and sweet. "Mija. Finally. We have been waiting." Her smile was soft, practiced, behind her. Hector stared at the floor like he hoped it would swallow him. Damon hovered the closest, jittery, jaw working like he was chewing through rage. "We need money," Damon said. "Not tomorrow. Tonight." I kept the chain tight. "You are violating the order." He smirked. "Thought that thing expired." It did not. Monique slipped her hand against the door as if she belonged there. "You got your big promotion today. Avery, 200-something thousand. It is your turn to help us. Damon is in trouble, and your father. He put 15,000 down on an RV. Damon cut her off with a scoff. "Non-refundable. And I owe 14,000 to people who do not wait." Hector cleared his throat, barely audible. "It was going to be our retirement trip. Grand Canyon, maybe Flagstaff again. We thought you thought I would pay for it," I said. "Just like always." Monique's smile strained. "We raised you, fed you. We did without so you could have opportunities. After everything we sacrificed." "No." My voice surprised me with how steady it was. "You came to my house. You pounded on my door. You want $29,000 of my salary because you made reckless choices." Damon shoved the door hard enough that the chain shivered. "You owe us." I reached into the drawer beside the door, slid out the yellow envelope I kept there for safety, and angled it through the gap so the embossed stamp caught the light. Damon's expression faltered. "You call the cops," he muttered to Monique, "and they will take hours." "They will not," I said. "And you know it." Monique's face shifted, the sweetness slipping. "Avery, the neighbors will hear. Let us inside. We can talk. You do not want people thinking you abandoned your parents. I am not letting you in." Her eyes narrowed. "Then we will make sure everyone knows how heartless you have become." Damon backed up one step, eyes burning. "Post the truth. Mom. She deserves it." I closed the gap of the door an inch. "If you post lies about me again, I will respond publicly. And I promise you will not like my version." For a beat, none of them moved. Then Damon tapped a knuckle against the frame. Slow and deliberate. "This is not over," he said. They walked away, Monique first, Hector trailing behind her, Damon lingering until the motion light clicked off above him. Only then did he disappear into the dark. I shut the door, slid every lock into place, and leaned back against the wood. My hands trembled, but my breath held steady. If anyone out there has ever had a night like this family showing up to take what is yours instead of celebrating what you earned, stay with me. There is more to tell, and you are not alone. If this kind of story hits close to home, share it with someone who might need it. I had barely taken 3 steps away from the door when my phone buzzed once, then twice, then nonstop, a steady vibration that crawled up my arm. I glanced at the screen. Notifications stacked in a wall, each one worse than the last. Monique Ruiz tagged you in a post. Monique Ruiz tagged your co-workers. Monique Ruiz posted in Henderson Neighbors Helping Neighbors. My throat tightened. I opened the first post. And there it was, the picture she had snapped through the chain, my face half-shadowed, expression tense, framed like I was a criminal hiding from the light. The caption read, "Our daughter refuses to help us during a family emergency. Please pray for us." Comments were already pouring in. "So sad. My kids would never do this. She looks cold." I shut the phone, but it buzzed again. A text from a coworker. "Darlene, are you okay? Someone shared a post about your parents." I typed back, "Do not believe anything you see," but I deleted it. Explaining would only pull me deeper into their mess. Another message came in my cousin Sophia from Tucson. "Avery, what is happening? Monique says your dad is sick. Should we send money?" I clenched my jaw. They were already building the story. They always moved fast when they wanted to bury me beneath guilt. Before I could respond, the group chat pinged. The one I had muted years ago. The one Monique resurrected whenever she needed a captive audience. Damon. She slammed the door on Mom. "Hector, we are struggling. Monique, we just asked for help." I stared at their words until my vision blurred. I typed, "Do not contact me again. You came to my house without permission." 3 dots appeared instantly, Monique typing. "Avery, you are making us look bad." I breathed out, steadying myself. "You did that." A long pause. Then Damon jumped in. "She is rich now. She thinks she is better than us." My chest tightened not from his insult, but from the memory it awakened. I was 17 again, counting tips from my part-time diner job, sliding crumpled bills beneath my mattress. Damon barged in, lifted the mattress with one hand, scooped everything out with the other. "Gas money," he said, walking away without looking back. I whispered then, too quiet for anyone to hear. That was all I had. Now, in my living room, years later, it felt like nothing had changed. He was still taking. My phone buzzed one more time, this one a sharp sting. "You have a new message from Human Resources." I opened it slowly. "A post involving you is circulating online. Can we schedule a conversation tomorrow morning?" The air left my lungs. Behind me, outside on the street. A car door slammed. I walked to the window, careful not to be seen. Damon stood at the curb, talking into his phone, pacing like he was narrating the world's worst script. I stepped back, heart hammering. Anyone who has ever watched a family lie about you in real time knows that silence is not safety. It is the moment before everything breaks. If you are still reading, hold on with me. I promise I am not done fighting. I barely slept. Every time my eyes closed, the image of Damon pacing under the streetlight came back like a warning. At dawn, my doorbell camera buzzed with a motion alert. I grabbed my phone, still half asleep, thinking it was a stray cat or a delivery truck, but the screen showed a hooded figure standing inches from my garage door, arm raised. A long, red line streaked across the metal. My stomach lurched. I threw on a hoodie, opened the front door, and stepped outside just as my neighbor, Mrs. Delgado, peeked out from her porch. She gasped, "Avery, your garage." I turned. Thick red letters, dripping and uneven, screamed across the metal panels. "Pay or pay the price." My voice barely worked. "Did you see anyone, Mrs.?" Delgado shook her head. "Just a dark car driving off fast." A second notification pinged. I opened the app again. The figure turned slightly toward the camera, a glimpse of Damon's jawline under the hood. I exhaled through my teeth. Behind us, another neighbor. Mr. Baldwin stepped out with a cup of coffee. "Homeowners Association will want that cleaned today," he said. Sympathetic but firm. "Code enforcement is strict." "I know," I murmured. Inside. My phone buzzed again 3 times in quick succession. I recognized the email domain immediately, my company. Human Resources. "We need to discuss the online posts involving your family. My supervisor, Tessa. Call me when you wake up. And then, unbelievably unknown sender. Your father collapsed last night. Avery refuses to help. Please forward. Attached was a grainy hospital wristband photo that looked like it had been stolen from a stock website. My chest tightened with fury. I clicked forward details and sent everything to the fraud report inbox our IT director maintained. My phone buzzed again. A message from an unfamiliar Arizona number. Expect a package today. Monique. Before I could process it, a knock sounded at the door. Not pounding, just a firm, professional knock. I flinched anyway. Through the peephole UPS, the driver handed me a thick manila envelope. The return address was a Las Vegas law office I did not recognize. Inside Ruiz versus Knox, a formal complaint demanding $32,000 in ongoing family support plus fees. 3 forged documents were attached: a falsified tuition receipt from a semester I paid entirely through scholarships, a Venmo screenshot with my name typed in the wrong font, a handwritten note claiming I had promised to contribute to household costs until age 30. I whispered. Unbelievable. My hands shook as I called the only person I trusted to see this clearly, attorney Nia Harper. She picked up on the second ring, her voice calm. Avery, what happened? I got a lawsuit, and red spray paint, and a fake hospital email, all before 9 in the morning. Tell me everything, she said. I walked her through the messages, the graffiti, the forged documents. She exhaled sharply. They are escalating to force a settlement. This is classic family coercion. They create chaos, so you pay to stop the noise. I am not paying them anything. You should not. She agreed. But you need to be ready. A false lawsuit can still pull you into hearings, and if they are desperate enough to vandalize your property, we have to prepare for more. I gripped the phone tighter. My job already flagged the posts. Then document everything, she said. Every message, every threat, every receipt. You are not alone in this. Her voice steadied something inside me. After we hung up, I went outside again with the camera app open. Mr. Baldwin approached cautiously. Terrible thing, he said, nodding at the paint. But rules are rules. You have 48 hours to remove it. I understand. His tone softened. If you need supplies, I have extra. Thank you, I said quietly. When he walked away, I stared at the dripping red letters one more time. For years, my family had stolen what they wanted: my money, my peace, my silence. But this time was different. This time, they had crossed every line, and I felt something shift inside me, not fear, resolve. By late afternoon, the manila envelope sat open on my dining table. Its contents fanned out like a crime scene. I thought I had already seen the worst of their escalation. I was wrong. At 5:30, my phone rang. The caller ID read Clark County Clerk's Office. A woman's voice came on, formal and detached. Ms. Knox, we are calling to notify you that a petition has been filed regarding your mental competency. You are required to undergo a psychological evaluation. Court appointed. My grip tightened. Filed by who? Your mother. Ms. Monique Ruiz. The petition alleges instability, financial paranoia, and emotional unfitness. You will receive full documentation via certified mail within 24 hours. My breath hitched. This is retaliation. There is a restraining order in place. You may address that during your evaluation, she said. Please arrive at Dr. Elise Park's office by 8 o'clock this Friday morning. The call ended before I could respond. I lowered the phone slowly, my pulse pounding in my ears. A legal petition to declare me unfit. A weapon designed to destroy credibility, employment, everything I had built. My phone buzzed again, an incoming call from my supervisor. Tessa. I answered. Tessa. I can explain. I saw the posts. Avery, she said softly, a mix of concern and caution. Human Resources wants clarity. They asked me to check in. My family is manufacturing everything. None of it is real. I believe you, she said, but upper management is nervous. Someone forwarded an email saying your father collapsed and you refused emergency care. That did not happen. None of it. I know. Her voice lowered. Document everything. Protect yourself. And Avery, be careful. When people feel entitled to your success, they can get unpredictable. After the call, I sat on the floor beside the couch. The room felt too quiet, too still. My mind drifted back to an old memory I hated remembering me at 15, sitting on the edge of my bed while Monique lectured me for an hour because I cried after Damon smashed my phone. You overreact, she had said. You imagine things. You are too emotional. No one will take you seriously if you keep this up. I swallowed hard. That was the origin of the wound she was trying to weaponize now. A text arrived Damon. Heard Mom filed the petition. Should have opened the door. Another message followed from Monique. This is your fault. You pushed us to this. Hector's message came last. Hesitant. Just do the evaluation. Mija. Then we can all move on. Move on. As if they had not spent years cutting pieces from me. I stood, walked to my desk, and opened my laptop. I forwarded the clerk's call details to attorney Nia Harper. Within minutes, she replied. They crossed a new line. We fight this. Her certainty steadied me. Outside, the sun slipped behind the houses, casting long shadows across my living room. The darkness didn't scare me anymore. Not compared to the people who claimed to be my family. I was sorting through the forged receipts again, angry strokes of Comic Sans, mismatched dates when my phone buzzed with a number I did not recognize. Oregon area code, I almost ignored it. Then something in me tightened, a tension I had not felt in years. I picked up, this is Avery. Silence. A breath. Then a voice I had not heard since I was 21. Aves, it's Lena. My knees buckled. I grabbed the counter to stay standing. Lena. I heard what Mom is doing. She said. I saw the posts. Damon shared them on some gambling Discord group. Someone forwarded them to me. My throat closed. You're alive. She let out a short, humorless laugh. Barely. But, yeah, still here. I pressed my hand to my chest. Where have you been, Portland? Off and on. Look, I am not calling to reconnect. I am calling because you are next, and you need proof. Proof of what A. Soft Russell came through the line. Check your messages. My phone buzzed with 6 attachments. I opened the first image, a casino receipt from a resort in Laughlin, $12,400 in cash advances. The next was a credit card statement in Lena's name, except the address was our old house in Flagstaff. Then a selfie Monique at a roulette table. Damon behind her, both smiling like they owned the night. My voice cracked. She used your identity. For years, Lena said. She forged my signature for loans. She told everyone I had a spending problem. Meanwhile, she was gambling every weekend. A pause. That woman will weaponize any child she can reach. I leaned against the fridge, the cold seeping through my shoulder. Why didn't you tell me I tried once? She said. Damon answered and told me to disappear. I figured he meant it. Anger swelled inside me. Anger at them, but also at myself for ever believing I was the problem. Lena, I whispered. They filed a petition to declare me mentally unfit. Her breath caught. Of course they did. It is the same thing they did to me. What they tried to convince my boss I had a breakdown. Mom called my landlord and said I was a danger. I had to leave Arizona to escape them. They will do anything to make you doubt yourself. I shut my eyes. I thought I imagined half of it. You did not imagine anything, she said firmly. You learned to survive them. Another buzz, more attachments. An email thread from years ago. Monique begging a casino manager to extend her line of credit. She used Lena's name again. A tightness formed behind my eyes. Lena, thank you. I am sending all of this to your lawyer, she said. You will need it. And Avery, I am sorry I left you there alone. You had to. I said, I understand now. She hesitated. Do not let them inside your head. That is how they win. I won't. And Avery, yeah, you deserve a life without them. Do not let guilt drag you back. Her voice softened at the end, barely above a whisper. Promise me. I promise. We stayed on the line for a few seconds, two sisters who had grown up in the same house but survived two very different wars. When she finally hung up, I stared at the evidence spread across my phone screen. For the first time in days, my chest loosened. Someone knew the truth. Someone who had lived it too. I forwarded everything to Attorney Nia Harper with a single message. We have ammunition, Nia responded instantly. This changes everything. I believed her. By Friday morning, the evidence from Lena sat printed in a neat folder inside my bag. It felt heavier than paper, more like a small piece of truth I finally had permission to hold. Still, when I walked into Dr. Elise Park's office at 7:58, my hands were shaking. She greeted me with a firm, calm nod. Ms. Knox, I am Dr. Park. We will take this one step at a time. Her voice carried no judgment, no hesitation. It steadied me more than I expected. We sat across from each other. She clicked her pen. Before we begin, do you understand why the court ordered this? Yes, I said, because my family filed a petition full of lies. She nodded once. You will have room to clarify that. I need to assess your memory, reasoning, emotional stability, and stress response. Nothing here is designed to trap you. Her reassurance made my chest tighten. I am ready. The first test was ink blots. She held up a card. Tell me what you see. A bat, I said. Or a butterfly. She observed me briefly, then showed the next. My answers came steady, direct. I refused to let Monique's narrative echo in my head that I was dramatic, unstable, too emotional. Next came digit spans and word lists. Dr. Park read sequences aloud, and I repeated them back with exact precision. Years of digital strategy work had trained my mind to hold details like a locked cabinet. Then came the personality inventory, hundreds of true or false questions. I often feel others control my thoughts. She read, false. I struggle to maintain routines. False. I am easily manipulated by relatives. I hesitated. Not anymore. I said quietly, false. Her eyes softened almost imperceptibly. A short break followed. I sat alone with a vending machine sandwich, my hands finally steadying. When Dr. Park returned, she led me into the final portion, the clinical interview. Describe your relationship with your family. I drew in a breath. Estranged, historically volatile, financial manipulation, emotional coercion, a lot of guilt. How long has this been present? My whole life. She nodded, taking notes. How do you manage stress? I prioritize tasks. I track everything. I do not panic until it is necessary. What about this week? I am angry, I said. But I am clear. They crossed a line. I refuse to lose myself to them again. Dr. Park closed her notebook. Thank you. Ms. Knox. The evaluation is complete. You will receive results in 3 days. 3 days. As I stood to leave, she added, You showed remarkable stability under pressure, for the first time in years. I believed someone meant it. The courtroom in downtown Las Vegas smelled faintly of dust and paper, the kind of scent that clung to old files and older grudges. I sat beside Attorney Nia Harper at the defense table, my hands clasped tight in my lap. She leaned slightly toward me. Stay steady, she murmured. We go step by step. Across the aisle, Monique adjusted her pale blue cardigan with theatrical care, eyes glistening as if tears were waiting for their cue. Hector sat hunched, staring at the wood grain. Damon paced behind them until the bailiff shot him a warning look. Judge Harlan entered, robe sweeping behind him as he took his seat. "Case of Ruiz versus Knox," he announced. "We will address the competency petition first." Monique's hand shot up delicately. "Your Honor, we are only here because our daughter has refused every attempt at reason. We fear she is unstable." Nia rose smoothly. "Objection to character speculation." "Sustained," Judge Harlan said. Monique flinched, then pulled out a tissue. "We love her. We want what is best for her," Damon muttered. "She owes quiet." The judge snapped. Nia tapped her folder, signaling me to breathe. "Your Honor, the defense would like to present Exhibit A," she said. The court ordered evaluation by Dr. Elise Park. Judge Harlan skimmed the top page, eyebrows lifting. "Dr. Park concludes Ms. Knox shows no signs of impairment, displays high executive function, and demonstrates strong emotional regulation." He set it down. Compelling. Monique's face twisted something between confusion and anger. "Doctor, Park only saw what Avery wanted her to see." Nia didn't miss a beat. "Your Honor, that brings us to Exhibit B. Remote witness ready to testify." Judge Harlan motioned to the technician. The monitor flickered, then stabilized. Lena appeared on screen from a small apartment in Portland, hair tied back, eyes sharp. "State your name," Judge Harlan said. "Lena Ruiz?" She answered. Monique gasped. "You, how dare you?" Lena didn't blink. "I am here because Avery is telling the truth. Mom used my identity to take out loans totaling $12,000. She forged my name on casino credit lines. She told everyone I was unstable when she was the one gambling every weekend." Damon lunged forward. "You liar!" The bailiff stepped in. "Sit down," Lena continued, voice steady. "When I tried to confront her, Damon threatened me. I left Arizona to get away from them. Avery is not unstable. She is surviving the same people I survived." Monique shot to her feet, tissue trembling in her fist. "Lena abandoned this family. She has always been dramatic, emotional. Mrs. Ruiz," the judge warned. "Your outbursts are not helping your case." Nia stepped forward. "Your Honor, the plaintiffs submitted forged documents, tuition receipts not matching university records, payment screenshots in incorrect fonts, and a handwritten agreement claiming Avery promised lifelong financial support." She set down the stack. "We request dismissal and sanctions." Judge Harlan examined the pages in silence. The tension in the room thickened until I could feel it pressing against my ribs. "Finally," he spoke. "The court finds no merit in the competency petition." His gavel struck once. "Dismissed. The court also finds evidence of fraudulent documentation submitted by the plaintiffs. Sanctions in the amount of $14,000 are imposed." Monique swayed, grip tightening on the table. Judge Harlan continued, voice firm. "Additionally, due to harassment, vandalism, and repeated violations of boundaries, a 3-year no-contact order is granted in favor of Ms. Knox, effective immediately." Hector lowered his head into his hands. Damon exploded. "You think a piece of paper stops me?" Before he finished. 2 deputies intercepted him, blocking his path. One placed a hand on his arm, the other radioed backup. "Stand down, sir." He jerked away, glaring at me. "This is not over." "Avery," the deputy pushed him toward the exit. "It is for today." As the courtroom emptied, Lena's voice came faintly through the speakers. "Aves, you did it." My throat tightened. "We did it." Nia closed her briefcase with a calm snap. "You held the line." "That matters." I nodded, breath shaky but solid beneath it. For the first time in years, the weight pressing on my chest began to ease slowly, but undeniably. I walked out of the courtroom into bright Nevada sunlight, feeling something unfamiliar settle inside me. Not victory, freedom. 8 months later, I stepped into my backyard in Scottsdale, the early heat rising off the stone path. The desert willow I planted in spring reached a little higher now, thin branches trembling in the light breeze. I twisted the hose nozzle until a soft arc of water swept across the roots. My phone buzzed on the patio table. A notification from work, another message about the digital innovation project I now led as senior vice president. $310,000 a year. A number I once thought belonged to someone braver. Another buzz. A postcard. I picked it up. Portland postmark. Lena's handwriting short. Careful letters spelling out only 2 words. Still here. I smiled quietly and set it beside the watering can. Dr. Park had once told me healing was not a straight line. It was a slow reclaiming. Some days still felt heavy, but none of them belonged to my family anymore. Monique, Hector, and Damon had vanished from my daily reality by law, by distance, and by my own choice. Avery Knox, the girl who once whispered apologies into the cracks of a childhood home, no longer lived here. I shut off the hose and knelt beside the willow, pressing my thumb into the soil to check its moisture. "You are getting stronger," I murmured, though maybe I meant myself. If you have ever had to cut family out to save yourself, you deserve a new life too. And if this story held any piece of your truth, share it with someone who might need the reminder. We get to choose the roots we grow next.